What's up, tribe? Sorry about that. My bad. My bad. Hey, y'all. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Oh, Lord. Sorry about that. Hey, y'all. Can y'all hear me? Oh, Lord. Sorry about that. We are here to talk about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reunion part 1 for season oh Lord, I got season 2 up there. It is not season 2. It is what, season 5 or 6? Let me tell y'all something. They could have kept that shit. Oh, this water's not hot at all. I was trying to rush my tea. Well, it's hot, but it ain't hot like I like it hot. YouTube needs to fix a lot of things because when I logged into my this channel earlier today, it had a message saying your appeal has been approved and your monetization been restored. And I'm like, huh? And it scared the hell out of me because I was like, number one, I don't remember getting a notification that my monetization was taken away. And 2, I never filed an appeal, but I'm glad it's been restored. And 3, I never even saw where I lost any monetization for it to be restored. So yeah, YouTube, I need y'all to get it together because that scared the hell out of me. I was like, what you mean I lost my monetization? So yeah, they definitely got some glitches going on. And then I don't know if y'all saw JB. JB lost his whole channel. YouTube deleted his whole channel. They said that it was wait a minute, Kiefer Sutherland is arrested. Oh Lord. He lost his whole channel. They said something about spam. I really think it's this AI stuff. They're putting AI in charge of stuff, and AI is flagging stuff that didn't exist. So hold on, Kiefer Sutherland arrested for alleged assault of a rideshare driver in Los Angeles. Kiefer Sutherland, sir. Anyway, moving right along. So let me get into this episode. So first of all, this was part 1, I guess, of a 3-part reunion. They could have kept this shit. See, I already see now that y'all about to piss me off because they could have kept this. First of all, my DVR cut off, so I didn't even get the last 10 minutes of the episode. So yeah, yeah, Chuck. So he's appealing it and stuff, but it's just bull. It says something about spam, and I'm like, what are you talking about spam? But see, that's AI. I know other YouTubers who have had strikes on their channel. I had a friend of mine, she lost her monetization because it said that she was reusing content, and she was like, everything that she does on her channel belongs to her. Like she's not even a reaction channel where she plays other people's content. She just talks. She literally just goes live and talks. She does like her version of Strawberry Letter, right? She has people write letters. She calls them her Blackberry Letter. And that's it. She literally reads the letters, gives her advice. That is it. And YouTube demonetized her channel. They were like, oh, it was reused content. And she was like, reused what? It's all my original content. She put in the appeal and YouTube didn't approve the appeal. So I don't know what's going on with YouTube right now, but yeah, they definitely need to get it together. They definitely need to get it together. And it scares me because, I mean, hell, it could happen to me. I could wake up one day, like I said, I already had that message, and I was just like, what in the world? Anyway, right, and Material Boy, exactly. All these other things they got going on this platform, and they choose to fool with people that are doing reviews of television shows, and like, she was a small YouTuber. Like, I don't even think she might have had like maybe 2,000 subscribers. Like, why are you picking on her? But anyway, so I have notes, but I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, they really could have kept this reunion. It really wasn't much there. I'm not going to get into the looks. I know I'm not a fashion girl, but I'm gonna be honest. I really wasn't crazy about anybody's look. If I had to pick a favorite, honestly, Meredith was my favorite dress. If I had to pick a favorite, but honestly, nobody blew me away. But I did like Meredith's dress. I hated Mary's dress. Wasn't crazy about Heather's dress. Angie's dress was predictable. Lisa's dress predictable. Um, Whitney's dress predictable. I mean, like as far as their personalities, they just stuck in their comfort zone. I mean, Angie looked like she was giving her best Jessica Rabbit impersonation. Lisa, again, it was probably Gucci, Louis, Prada. You know what I mean? Like it was probably just some name brand. But in all reality, it just nobody really wowed me. I think Meredith's was my favorite dress. So I didn't see that last part with Brittany. So whatever argument they got into with Brittany, I honestly didn't see it. So I don't know. I would have to go back. The only way I would have to like go back and look at the last 10 minutes, which I'm not going to do. I don't know why my DVR cut off, but it did. So I didn't get the last, like literally it cut off as they were doing the below deck montage, and that's where it cut off. So I'm sure I'll get whatever. If it was something in it I needed to get. The rest of the episode didn't wow me, so I can't imagine the last 10 minutes was going to save it, because this was a wasted episode as far as I'm concerned. I liked Bronwyn's hair. I definitely like that long, wavy. I loved Bronwyn's hair. Loved her hair, and I loved her makeup. Brittany runs off. Okay, so that's next episode, right? So I didn't miss anything. Okay, cool. So let me go through my notes. Maybe if I go through the notes, I'll have something to talk about. But I'm serious, y'all. This review is gonna probably take 20 minutes, because I just didn't get anything out of this reunion. I just didn't. So we start off with Whitney and Meredith, and here's what pissed me off about the Whitney and Meredith of it all. We started off with shit that didn't happen on the show. We spent the first 10, 12 minutes of this reunion, maybe not that long, but at least the first 10 minutes. We spent the first 10 minutes of this reunion talking about shit that happened at BravoCon. And remember when they filmed this reunion, BravoCon had just happened. Like BravoCon was in November. They filmed a reunion like late November, early December. So BravoCon had just happened. Why are we spending so much time talking about something that none of us were privy to? Or if we were privy to, like you had to have watched the BravoCon, or you had to have watched the blogs to even understand what they were talking about. Meredith was like, Andy asked Meredith what her intentions were for the reunion. Because of course we know how the season ended with everybody sort of, doing an intervention on Meredith. So she said, well, it depends on how Whitney answers this next question. So she asked Whitney something like, did you mean what you said? Shit, I don't know. Something about, did you mean what you said at BravoCon or whatever? And Whitney was like, you twisted my words. I was drunk. I said, I want us to be friends because I really want to be your friend. And you twisted my words because I was drunk. And Meredith was like, no, what you said was, whatever Meredith said. And then Whitney was like, well, you twisted my words. That's not what I said. I mean, I admit I was drunk. And so at that point, once Whitney kept talking about how drunk she was, honestly, I was disengaged from the conversation, because at that point, I'm like, well, Whitney, can we believe that you really didn't say what you're saying you didn't say? Can we believe that Meredith is really twisting your words? Or did you say those things? Because now they said you were so drunk that your husband had to carry you upstairs to your room. They said you were so drunk that Andy said they were worried that you were going to get through I guess this the live Watch What Happens live at BravoCon. She was there, and Andy was like, girl, we didn't even know you was going to be able to walk across the stage. She was like, yeah, I already apologized to Andy about me being drunk. So, girl, it sounds like you were really, 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 really drunk. So once they talked about how drunk you were, then at this point, I could say, well, whatever Meredith said probably happened, because you don't know what you said and what you didn't say. You don't know if Meredith is misconstruing your words or not. Because, girl, you were drunk. You were so drunk, your husband had to carry you up the steps. So in my opinion, I can't believe nothing you said after that. So that kind of already pissed me off, because why did we spend 10 minutes on something that did not happen on the show? And stuff that I didn't even know nothing about, none of this. Like, this was all new to me, because contrary to popular belief, all of us don't watch everything. We don't watch all of BravoCon. I didn't watch any of BravoCon, if I'm being very honest. I didn't watch none of it. So if you didn't watch Bravo, I didn't know nothing about Brittany being drunk on stage. And then whatever this conversation was, I guess Meredith talked about it on a blog or in an interview or something. I didn't know nothing about that. Why? Because I don't watch the shit like that. I watch the show. I review the show. Meredith was calling Whitney out for playing producer. Why can't we just be friends off camera and leave? Oh yeah, she did say that something about off camera, on camera, on camera. And was being a hypocrite. I do agree they spent too much time. Yeah, because again, I can't be vested in a conversation I don't know anything about. But okay, now I'm spending too much time on it. Moving right along. So then, Andy was like, well, so what does that mean? And Meredith was like, It's very clear that it's Meredith and Lisa against the world. It's very clear that this whole reunion, Lisa is going to agree with whatever Meredith said. Meredith is going to agree with whatever Lisa says. And everybody is going to agree with each other against Lisa and Meredith. So that is already making, in my opinion, for a boring conversation. Because if we can't be honest, then where do we go from here? And like when they brought up the Lisa thing about Lisa saying, I live a very different life than everybody else. And Meredith was like, well, I think we all do. I mean, we all live different lives from each other. We don't live the same lives. Girl, you know what the fuck Lisa was trying to say. Clearly, everybody lives a different life. Everybody has different spouses. Everybody has different careers. Everybody has different things they do with their spare time. Girl, that's not what we're talking about. And that's not what Lisa meant either. Lisa meant it in a way to talk down on the rest of y'all. And that's why Mary was like, girl, she was talking about you too. Meredith was like, I know, but I agree. We do have different lives. Girl. So no matter what we say, you just gonna agree with Lisa, and Lisa just gonna agree with you. Okay, cool. So I see. So at this point, I see that's where the rest of this is gonna go. It's gonna be the two of them against everybody else. And again, there's that. So then we get into Heather, Angie, and Lisa. And again, that's when they get into Lisa. Lisa saying that, Heather saying that Lisa is you know what? Vivacious. It didn't record the last 10 minutes. I was telling them that mine cut off in the last 10 minutes for some weird reason. It recorded the reunion, but I didn't get the last 10 minutes. So I don't know. I don't know what the hell is going on with our electronics, child. I don't know what's going on because we were talking about YouTube is tripping. Mine did the same. It recorded, but it cut off at the end, which again just doesn't make sense. So Heather, Angie, and Lisa get into it because again, now they're talking about Lisa saying that, basically Lisa acting like her life is better than everybody else's, and she just does all of these great things, and she doesn't understand. People don't understand her, and she's not a mean person. She's really a sweet person, and she doesn't understand why people feel this way about her. Why do people say these things about her? And of course, Angie and Heather was like, "Girl, because you say condescending shit about us. Like you come at us, you are condescending. Like what you mean? You don't understand." But again, in my opinion, this is who Lisa has been since season 1. Like this is who Lisa is. I think it's gotten worse, but this is definitely who Lisa is. They were talking about I'll get to that. So they were talking about these lawsuits. And what I noticed is that we got off on a whole conversation and never talked about the lawsuits. And I wrote in my notes, what about the lawsuits? Now they do eventually come back around to the lawsuits, but I literally wrote that in my notes. What about the lawsuits? They asked Heather, do you think Lisa is a risky friend? Of course, Heather said yes. Mary said the same thing. Mary said, I think you're a risky friend too. Because basically, that they said because you're vindictive and you're vicious and you don't really have a stopping point. Like you just go 0 to 100 and there's no stopping point. And that you're vicious. So they do get into these lawsuits. Hold on. I meant to look up something before. I wanted to look up something before. Hold on, y'all. Give me a quick second. Excuse me, I'm sorry. So, all right. So they were talking about Lisa's lawsuits, and Lisa was like, "This, you know what pisses me off when people say, like when kids say, I got all A's except for 2 C's and a D. Then you didn't get all A's. You got a lot of A's, 2 C's, and a D. So when Lisa was like, all of the lawsuits have been settled except, well, 2, one we're waiting for a summary. We're hoping for a summary judgment, and the other one is being litigated. So, girl, all your lawsuits haven't been settled. Like, then all of your lawsuits haven't been settled. Like, what are you talking about? All of your lawsuits haven't been settled. And when you say a summary judgment, and Heather was like, girl, that means a judgment against you. And Lisa was like, no, no, no. Girl, a summary judgment is a judgment. A summary judgment is a judgment. And that means that you settle, which means that you're going to, and that's what they were trying to say. They were like, so all of your other lawsuits were dismissed or were they settled? Because there's two different things. A lawsuit being dismissed and being thrown out is not the same as a lawsuit being settled. So Mary, Heather was like, so you mean to tell me out of all of these lawsuits, you didn't owe anybody any money? Nobody. And Lisa was just talking around it, right? Lisa was like, well, no, I mean, girl, did you owe these people some money? Did you owe these people some money or what? Girl, what? So then they asked about, it was something with the lawsuits. I ain't write it. Hold it. Did I write it in my notes? No, I wrote it here that the summary judgment and then the 2 open lawsuits. But the summary judgment, girl, that means that you owe somebody some money. It's real easy. That means you owe somebody some money. So then she tried to deflect it on Bronwyn because Andy was asking Bronwyn, why did you care so much? And, they were talking about when they went on the trip at the beginning and they were like, well, I just didn't believe. And then Whitney, you irritate me. See, this is the thing. All these women irritate me. Whitney, you irritate me because she was like, well, I just didn't believe that she was with Brad. I didn't believe that she was at a movie premiere with Brad. I mean, I saw these pictures of her in Miami. I thought maybe, that she just was getting some work done. See, you didn't have to throw that dig in there about, oh, I think she was just getting some work done. You could have just said, girl, I didn't think you were really at no movie premiere with Brad. And then her reasoning was, well, because you didn't post anything online. Well, everybody doesn't post everything. And I don't follow Lisa on Instagram, so I don't know what her Instagram looks like, if I'm being very honest. But do I believe that Lisa was probably at that movie premiere? Yes. Do I believe that she had seats next to, was it not Brad? Shit. Who was the guy? Anyway, some white actor. Do I believe you were sitting next to him at the movie premiere? No. Were you invited to the movie premiere? Sure. Do you know how easy it is to get an invitation to a movie premiere? Especially if you move in certain circles. It's not hard. But you being like VIP, sitting with them, going to the, like sitting in their private box, that's a different conversation. But Whitney, was it Ben Affleck? It was Ben Affleck. Thank you. But Whitney, your whole reasoning, thank you, SEK, your whole reasoning was stupid. Because, she didn't post it on Instagram. Well, I saw her on Instagram with no makeup on. I thought she was just getting some work done. Now, it's clear that Lisa has had work done. Let's be clear. But I just felt like that was Whitney's way of throwing a dig about Lisa's plastic surgery. That's just what I thought. And again, I don't like Lisa, but I just felt like it was an unnecessary dig. Then her and Browin get into it. Browin was like, look, girl, I didn't go out here searching and snooping. It was in the paper. I just read what was in the paper. And it was in the paper. Browin's not lying about that. Then they got into this whole thing about how Lisa is still going around talking about her husband, how they were supposed to have a truce, but Lisa is still talking about Todd. Then there was this really nasty video that a fan made. Lisa was at BravoCon talking about Todd, and somebody sent it to Browin, and Lisa was talking about the size of Todd's penis, and she kept calling him a dirty old man. She called him a pervert. I wrote it down. A dirty old man and a pervert. And then when Andy said something to her about it, she was like, well, he is. I hope Todd fucking sue you. I lied. I said it wasn't hot. It was hot. I hope Todd files a cease and desist, and I hope he fucking sues you, because that is a serious accusation. You said it. You kept saying it. Like, Lisa said it over and over and over and over. And even when Andy and Browin kind of caught her on it, she was like, well, he is a pervert. He is a dirty old man. He is a pervert. Girl, based on what? Did I miss something? And like Browin said, we had a truce. She said, I have not spoken on your kids or on your husband since we made that truce. Yet you use every opportunity you can to talk about mine. You talk about my family at every turn. But I have yet to talk about your family. Because Lisa was even bringing up the stuff last year about a miscarriage or something like that with the baby. And Browin was like, Lisa, stop talking about my daughter. I wasn't talking about your daughter. I was just talking about something that happened. It doesn't matter whether it's true or not. That wasn't the truth. The truth wasn't, we can only say real information. The truth was, we're not going to talk about each other's family. And then Lisa was like, well, I did apologize and we made up on the boat. I mean, I'm sure they have that footage. So, of course, they showed the footage. Robin was like, girl, that was before Greece. Girl, that was before BravoCon. Like, what are you talking about? Yes, you apologized to me on the ship. Yes, we made up on the ship, but Greece happened after that. And you was talking about my husband in Greece. And BravoCon definitely happened after that. And that is the video. It's from BravoCon. And Lisa just, I don't care. I wasn't saying anything. I didn't say anything. It was true. I didn't say anything that wasn't true. And I was like, I just didn't understand where the perverted, dirty old man pervert came from. Like, to me, there are certain things that we just don't throw around in jest. And that's one of them. Like, you can talk about him being fat. You can talk about him being mean. You could make comments about, I don't even think he really likes Bravo. Like, yeah, you can get into a lot of that kind of shit. But to call that man a pervert, now you're going down a road that's a really rocky path. And Todd has money. He's got money to hire lawyers, or probably already has lawyers on retainer. Like, if I were Todd, Lisa would be getting a real nice cease and desist first thing in the morning from my attorneys. Absolutely. And not only would she be getting a cease and desist, but she would be getting a letter demanding a apology and a retraction. Because I'm not even sure where that comes from. But I do know the word pervert has a very nasty connection to it, and there's no wiggle room in calling somebody a pervert. You're making a very specific accusation about them. And I'm just not sure where that's coming from. Unless I missed something. Maybe y'all know I didn't finish last season. I did watch the reunion from last season, and I don't remember anything that would make that be a thing. I'm gonna be honest, that's all I got in my notes. They asked Mary, they did like this montage over the years because it's their 100, like they've had 100 episodes, so they kind of did a a montage of like their best moments or whatever. That was cute. They talked about Mary, you know, how she's changed, you know, where she started on the show and where she is now. Um, you know, so you know, they said, who do you think has changed the most? Mary was like, I think I have. I think Mary has too. The Mary from season 1 is not this Mary. Um, yeah, yeah, she's not this Mary. So I can agree. He asked Heather about the woman she was season 1. She said, you know, I'm really proud of her. I know, you know, the things that were being said about me that I didn't deserve to be on this show. You know, she said, you know, I wasn't, you know, she said, you know, physically, mentally, spiritually, and financially, I wasn't my best, but you know, I'm proud of her. I'm proud of that woman, you know, that kind of thing. Um, but in all reality, y'all, that was pretty much it. And then, like I said, Brittany came out and my DVR cut off. So I don't know what happened them last few minutes with Brittany, but we know I saw her with the damn emotional support bear. Girl. I think Mary's more tactful. Mary said that in the first season, she felt like that she wasn't included. She felt like that they iced her out of a lot of stuff. So she was very defensive. Whereas now she has grown real relationships with these women. And so she has made real friends. And I think that's the difference. I think that's the difference. Now I will say this: Meredith went on Two Peas in a Pod podcast, and she did spill a little tea, honey. Now what she said was, I'm gonna tell you. Hold on. To be fair, I didn't watch the whole podcast. I just watched some reviews of the podcast, so more was probably said than what I'm going to tell y'all. But one thing that was said was, um, they said that Meredith says she really doesn't talk to anybody on the show at this point. Like she pretty much doesn't have any relationships with the women on the show, probably outside of Lisa. She said that what Monica Garcia said was true about one of the cast members having to actually go to the hospital on a cast trip because of somebody drinking too much. I'm pretty certain that was Heather. Like if I had to take a guess, we've seen Heather be fall down drunk. I remember that trip they took to Tahoe where Heather literally was on the back seat throwing up. She was that drunk. So I could see it being Heather. I mean, Meredith didn't say who it is, but you know. I heard that Meredith was so here's the thing. Nothing official comes out about personnel until after the reunion. But I heard that Meredith isn't coming back. I heard that they wanted to reduce her to a friend of, and she said thanks, but no thanks. I don't know if that's true. We won't know it for another couple of weeks if it's true. Um, um, she also said she felt like it was really rich. Heather talking about being honest and you know, Heather trying to come at her about, you know, being honest and being authentic and all of that. She said she thought it was really rich coming from Heather, considering about Heather lying about that black eye. And she said that a lot of people got in trouble behind Heather and the lie about that black eye. There was a lot of stuff behind the scenes. A lot of people got in trouble, which I can believe. And I do y'all might have to go back and watch it again. I don't think Andy and Heather are in a good place. I mean, they're professional, but you can tell when Andy likes somebody, but you can also tell when Andy doesn't like somebody. And when he was going around saying hi to everybody, the way he said hi to Heather and Heather's response to him, I was like, but I feel like after that whole thing with the black eye, Heather and Andy probably are just not in the best of places. Now Andy did congratulate her on, you know, surviving Mormonism or becoming Mormonism or whatever it was. He did congratulate her on that, but it was just the way they spoke to each other was just really, I don't know. Maybe it was me, but it was weird. But honestly, y'all, that's all I got. That was 32 minutes. And I feel like I gave y'all an extra 10 minutes. Because it just wasn't a lot there. So maybe next week is better. I already told y'all, if they don't give me no footage from this plane, as far as I'm concerned, it was a bust. That's how I feel about it. But with that being said, y'all, I'm gone. Talk to y'all later. Peace.